Pride in Diversity is a workplace program designed specifically to assist Australian employers with the inclusion of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender and intersex employees. As a member-based program, Pride in Diversity works closely with HR, diversity professionals and LGBTI network leaders in all aspects of equality and within all sectors of the Australian workforce.
Many companies now realise that LGBTI inclusion is the litmus test of the diversity spectrum. They appreciate that you can't advertise yourself as an inclusive workplace unless you bring everybody to the table. You can't cherry pick on inclusion. Because there's so much competition for good workers in Australia now, people want truly inclusive workplaces where they're valued for who they are, they can bring their whole authentic selves to work, and it shows in their engagement, their productivity, their workplace happiness levels.
Employees who feel that they are able to be out in an inclusive workplace tend to be more productive. People perform better when able to be themselves at work. 1/3 of gay staff conceal their sexual orientation from their employers and co-workers. Job seekers are becoming more selective and actively looking for organisations that are creating inclusive workplaces where they can be themselves.
Lendlease is very proud to have been a foundation sponsor of Pride and Diversity and have been involved in sponsoring this conference since 2011. We aim to continue to blaze the trail in LGBTI inclusion, and every year will be a little bit better than we were the year before.
Australian Diversity Workplace Strategy is about ensuring that workplaces are inclusive of all employees, regardless of race, ethnicity, gender, age, sexual orientation, disability or religion.
If people are allowed to be themselves, the diversity is a source of great richness for organisations, which is valued because people bring their own life experience, their own viewpoints, their own talents and skills. It adds to a stronger workplace.
This is the goal for Pride in Diversity, and while LGBTI inclusion in the workplace is a well-advanced strategy in the US and UK, it's still relatively new to Australia.
When I think now about all of those years where I was in hiding and editing conversations and not being comfortable, you look at some of these organisations represented here today. They've got LGBTI employee networks, they've got functions, they have initiatives in place, they do their policy audits, they run training and awareness. It's just fantastic.
The annual Pride in Practice Workplace Conference is about showing organisations how to set up inclusive workplace programs, and by learning from those organisations that have these programs operating already.
Unless you've got the most exciting job in the world and you can pay an enormous amount of money, then what's going to make somebody choose your company over somebody else's? And that's where in HR speak we talk about the employee value proposition. It's the culture. It's, am I going to be able to thrive in that organisation? And for LGBTI people, it's about, can I just be myself? And let me tell you, when somebody can be themselves at work, they're not going to go to another organisation for an extra $5,000 or $10,000. That I don't want to go back into the closet again and go through all of that again. When somebody can truly be themselves, that's worth a lot.
At the Pride in Practice Workplace Conference, it was announced the Workplace Inclusivity Group would be sponsoring next year's Bingham Cup, the international gay rugby tournament.
The Bingham Cup is very proud to welcome Pride and Diversity as a community partner. Pride and Diversity is a fantastic organisation, is doing wonderful work amongst the corporations within Australia. The Bingham Cup, the Gay Rugby World Cup, will be hosted in Sydney in August 2014. We're expecting somewhere between 28 to 40 gay rugby teams from around the world to come to Australia to play great rugby and to celebrate diversity and how diversity builds stronger teams.
In a history-making gesture of inclusivity, the Australian Rugby Union Football Code has confirmed it will display the Global Gay Rugby Bingham Cup alongside other international trophies held by Australia in its official trophy case.
The Sydney Convicts, who is this local Sydney team, who's the current holder of the Bingham Cup, they're going to give the Bingham Cup to the ARU to put in its trophy so they can show it off to all and sundry, which is a fantastic statement that Australia's rugby governing body is happy and prepared to show the Gay Rugby World Cup as if it was any other trophy that they have, and we're happy to show off.
Pride in Diversity's Program Director Dawn Hoff says more and more organisations are realising the value of an inclusive workplace.
We have members going out to their key stakeholders, people that they do business with, and saying you really need to get on board with this. So it does spread. And I think we're seeing today the number of organisations that are coming together and really starting to demand that their industries make a difference. Not just their company, but their industries. You know, and we're starting to see different sectors group up together to say, how can we make a difference in this industry? That's quite amazing.
Pride in Diversity's Daniel O'Neill says this conference is for best practice companies to get together and share experiences.
It's an opportunity for all the best practice organisations in the country, our member organisations and others, to come together, learn from each other, share their experiences and progress LGBTI workplace inclusion even further.
Australia's first national LGBTI recruitment guide was launched at this year's Pride in Practice conference. The Australian Workplace Equity Index is a free service provided annually by Pride in Diversity. It evaluates and benchmarks LGBTI inclusiveness in the Australian workplace.
We're really delighted with this publication and we're thrilled it's come into being through the generous support of Telstra. So it couldn't have happened without them, and we're very, very grateful to Telstra for that.
The guide will profile all member organisations and those companies which have participated in the Australian Workplace Equality Index this year.
We've just launched our recruitment guide today, which profiles members that are active in this space. Doesn't mean everyone's best practice, but it does mean that you can be rest assured if you work for one of those companies, you're going to a workplace that is really targeting LGBTI inclusion and making a difference for their employees.
Organisations and AWEI participants are developing truly inclusive workplaces. Pride in Diversity says that the new Workplace Equality Index will help to promote organisations to new graduates and other job seekers around the country. The guide will be distributed to members in both hard and soft copy and will also go to universities, TAFEs, colleges and recruiters. I'm Kyle Olsen for Inside Out.